Hollywood, California. The world-famous neighborhood located in Los Angeles is easily recognized by its landmark sign in the Hollywood Hills. The sign originally read Hollywoodland when it was erected in 1923, but in 1949, the last four letters were removed. This cultural icon is 350 feet long and looks down on the neighborhood from the Santa Monica Mountains. But Hollywood is much more than just a neighborhood. It's an industry and a lifestyle. The industry is entertainment and film, and the lifestyle is fast and ambitious.
I give you an example. My Facebook page was growing 20,000 people a month for 2.5 years straight.
Bas Rutten was a UFC heavyweight champion and finished his career on a 22-fight unbeaten streak. Bas was also inducted to the UFC Hall of Fame in 2015. With his 28 credits as an actor, Bas has Hollywood experience, and he's partnered up with fellow Catholic and award-winning actor Kevin James on a few films as well.
Nobody is innocent until proven guilty anymore. Everything is right away. If they point the finger, they decide you're wrong, then you're wrong. So, that's a hard way to live with it. And thankfully, I don't have too many movies that I experience things like that. But I hear from many other actors who are Catholic, they have people work against them to work in the industry, which it just blows my mind, because that means that, well, it's got to be the opposite then on the other side, right? If they really want to stop you just because you're a Catholic, that's a scary thing, because that needs to be the devil at work.
Hollywood is in the Archdiocese of Los Angeles. Its Archbishop is Jose Gomez, who was also named President of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops back in November of 2019. Gomez's predecessor was the now retired Cardinal Roger Mahony. The Hollywood born and raised Mahony was the Archbishop of Los Angeles from 1985 to 2011. During his tenure, there were more than 500 alleged victims of sexual abuse by 34 of his clerics. One of those clerics, Father Michael Baker. He's been accused of molesting at least 23 boys, and in 2007 pleaded guilty to a dozen counts of molestation against 2 boys and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Baker, who wasn't defrocked until 2000, told Mahony about the molestation in 1986, which was 1 year into his tenure as Archbishop. When asked by a lawyer why he didn't notify the police, he said,
"But back then, that isn't the way these matters were approached."
In 2013, the LA Times published an extensive report on Cardinal Mahony. The report was based on nearly 23,000 pages of internal documents that were made public by the Archdiocese in compliance with court orders. The report highlighted Father Baker's case. They mentioned Cardinal Mahony's top aide, Monsignor Richard Loomis, who said, quote, "We've stepped back 20 years and are being driven by the need to cover up and to keep the presbyterate, priests, and public happily ignorant, rather than the need to protect children." Baker only served about 6 years behind bars, and when detectives asked him before his release, "Why did the Cardinal shelter you for so long?" his response, "We haven't talked since that one meeting in 1986.
The way the church dealt with all the pedophiles and all the bad stuff. If they would have done it differently, just let them go to regular prison. Let's see if that's going to stop it. No, let's protect them and let's just push them to another thing. It's insanity. Of course, people are going to get angry. I will get angry. I was angry about the church. But, again, you go all back. It's just bad people. I always tell my friends, it's like Judas was already one of the 12. That was already evil in there. I mean, look at Satan. He was an angel. It's not, evil is everywhere. People just don't see it because, the line that they said, and this from Usual Suspects, right? The greatest trick the devil played was convincing people that he doesn't exist. We all believe in the good, with the miracles. Stage 4 cancer. I read articles about people who went to Lourdes, come back completely cured. They all believe that. But as soon as you say the devil, okay, where did that good come from? Where did that good come from? If there's good, there's the opposite of that. And that's the evil that we're seeing right now.
Earlier this year in February, the now Archbishop Jose Gomez celebrated Mass with Mahony. This was at the annual Los Angeles Religious Education Congress, better known as the LA Rec. There with Mahony was a number of clergymen, including Bishop Robert Barron, who is an auxiliary bishop in the Archdiocese of LA. The LA Rec, the so-called Religious Education Congress, features men like Father James Martin, Father Brian Massengale, and Father Daniel Horan, year after year. All 3 promote homosexuality, and one, Brian Massengale, is even an openly professed gay priest and theologian. On top of promoting heterodoxy, the annual Congress is known for its liturgical abuses during the holy sacrifice of the Mass. This is what Catholicism looks like right around the corner from Hollywood. In April of 2020, a documentary called Out of Shadows was released. Its director is Mike Smith.
So for the past 28 years, I've probably had one of the coolest jobs in the world. I was a professional stunt performer. I've worked with some of the biggest stars. I've got to be Batman. I've got to be James Bond. I've won World Stunt Awards. I am in the Screen Actors Guild. I'm in the DGA. I'm in the WGA. And last year, I got into the Academy, the Oscars.
The documentary shines a light on the satanic reality in Hollywood, a reality that plays a larger role than most people know.
Katy Perry was a gospel singer, very talented, but she was going nowhere. And she got up to Hollywood and basically they said, you want to be a success? You play by our rules. You step into the occult and you start putting that in your videos. And now she's doing videos with her in hell with satanic themes, and she's what? Highly successful. You see that over with Lady Gaga, who came out and actually said she was so tired of being handled and manipulated, she had to take a break.
It's well known that Lady Gaga, who was born and raised in a Catholic family, worked with Satanist Marina Abramovich.
And she came really very humble to my house and asked me if I can teach her. We made this workshop in the woods, and she was such a good student.
Abramovich is a self-described performance artist. She came from a Serbian Orthodox family and has won multiple awards for her so-called art. She's also known for her spirit cooking, which she describes as a recipe combining fresh milk from the breast, fresh milk of the sperm, blood, urine, and other ingredients. Spirit cooking was a major topic of discussion during the run-up to the 2016 election.
How about she's under federal investigation? How about this spirit cooking we're watching in the WikiLeaks? How about this child sex trafficking rings we're reading about in WikiLeaks? That's far more important to Mrs. Clinton than the KKK.
Early in the campaign, WikiLeaks, the multinational media organization, began releasing a series of large email dumps, mostly from the Clinton campaign. Many of them came from or were sent from Hillary Clinton's private email server. As part of an ongoing dump of internal emails from Team Clinton, October of 2016 is especially noteworthy. WikiLeaks published over 20,000 pages of emails pertaining to John Podesta. Podesta served as White House Chief of Staff to President Bill Clinton, counselor to President Barack Obama, chairman of Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign, and co-chairman of the Obama-Biden Transition Project. One of the over 20,000 emails was from Marina Abramovich, and it was sent to Tony Podesta, John Podesta's brother. I am so looking forward to the spirit cooking dinner at my place. Do you think you'll be able to let me know if your brother is joining? All my love, Marina. Tony then forwarded his brother John the email. With regard to the spirit cooking, Marina's recipe also says, with a sharp knife, cut deeply into the middle finger of the left hand. Eat the pain. Podesta tweeted this picture in 2015, and right on the middle finger of his left hand. Another email reveals that he, John Podesta, was invited to a heated pool party with children as entertainment. The invite was from Tamara Luzzatto. Luzzatto is currently the Senior Vice President of Government Relations at the Pew Charitable Trusts. She also served as Hillary Clinton's Chief of Staff in the U.S. Senate from 2001 to 2009.
I very proudly work for someone who sees the world, hopefully in accordance with your comments about Senator Clinton.
Luzzatto's invite read, "We plan to heat the pool, so a swim is a possibility. Bonnie will be Uber service to transport Ruby, Emerson, and Maeve Luzzatto, 11, 9, and almost 7, so you'll have some further entertainment. And they will be in that pool for sure." Trudy Vincent replied, "We're in. Thanks for the invite." Vincent is currently in Washington, D.C. as the Associate Vice President for Federal Relations for the University of Chicago. She also served for Democratic Senators Bill Bradley and Jeff Bingaman in the 1990s.
The function of the Office of Federal Relations is to do traditional lobbying, advocacy for issues the university cares about.
Another reply to the hot tub party invite was Drew Littman, who said, "Thanks for remembering me, as I was planning to use the farm as the backdrop to announce my candidacy for Speaker of the House." Littman is currently a policy director in Washington, D.C., who also served as Secretary of Health and Human Services under President Barack Obama. These emails involve John Podesta, Tamara Luzzatto, Trudy Vincent, and Drew Littman, along with many more. And the dots are all connected in a 2012 Wall Street Journal article, 4 years before any of this was revealed. The article reports that there were weekly lunch meetings with Mr. Littman, Ms. Luzzatto, and Trudy Vincent, who were all legislative directors for Democratic senators in the late 1990s. The article also mentions the Podesta's lobbying firm, along with Hillary Clinton. On top of these perverted emails, the Podesta's own art collection is filled with pedophilia. Tony Podesta even has this hanging bronze sculpture in his home. It's titled Ark of Hysteria and displays a decapitated human in a contorted position. This sculpture in Podesta's home almost perfectly resembles one of Jeffrey Dahmer's murder victims. Dahmer used to photograph his victims' bodies in positions that he found sexually significant. As of late in Hollywood, or the film industry, HBO just released a new movie called Unpregnant. The movie depicts a minor going on a road trip across state lines to kill her child.
I don't think that this is what you really want.
It's my life, it's my choice.
If people don't know that they're being brainwashed by movies like that, that movie didn't come to make money. That movie is made to let kids think certain things. My daughter had a girl in the class, 17 years old, went to Planned Parenthood, $500, the boyfriend paid, boom, abortion. I go like this. I told my daughter, if I find out if you're pregnant and you do this, I said, you're going to have a big problem with me. And everybody goes, yo, what about rape and incest? I go, you talk about the less than 1.5% combined together. So the rest, 89.5% is just out of inconvenience. Let's just kill it. I mean, and again, in the early days when I was young, I was thinking the same thing. Oh yeah, we can do it. But once you really start thinking about life, it's a whole different ballgame. And boom, as soon as the conception, that's when you're pregnant. And then waiting, if you hear these things, from Planned Parenthood, waiting till like 9 months because they can sell the parts of the babies. It looks like almost out of a horror movie for me. I don't believe that people actually can make this look good. It's amazing that even people try. I mean, there's what I always say, right? There's a highway to hell and there's like a stairway to heaven. Well, it really looks like that. They anticipated the traffic, I guess. I think it really looks like a lot of people are going the wrong way right now.
Although it looks like a lot of people are going the wrong way, the Catholic Church alone offers them the opportunity to be saved. All salvation comes from Christ the head, through the church, which is his body.
The more you learn about the faith, the more you're going to be interested. It really is like that, because every verse has such a deep meaning behind it. You can pick it up in so many different ways. Don't you want to be that person? Who can overcome his fears, his insecurities, a real man who's not a slave to his passions and desires, but who's in control of himself. Don't you want to be a guy like that?